There is an insect so painful to encounter that scientists created an entire scale just to describe it, and this ant sits alone at the very top. Deep in the lowland rainforests of Central and South America, beneath the cathedral canopy where light barely reaches the forest floor, lives Paraponera clavata. The bullet ant. At roughly 2.5 centimeters long, it is one of the largest ants on Earth. But size is not what earned its name. The name comes from what happens when it stings you. Witnesses describe the sensation as being shot. Not like being shot. Being shot. The forests here are ancient and layered. Moisture clings to every surface. The air smells of decomposing leaves and fungus. And somewhere on the base of a large tree, often hidden beneath a tangle of roots, is the entrance to a bullet ant colony. There is no fanfare. No visible army marching in formation. Just a small dark opening, unremarkable in every way except for what waits inside. A colony holds between 1,000 and 3,000 individuals. The queen, buried deep within the nest, is the colony's engine. She alone produces the next generation, attended constantly by workers who feed her, clean her, and ensure she never stops laying eggs. The workers themselves live approximately 90 days, short, relentless lives of foraging, building, and defense. What makes the bullet ant unusual among ants is its solitary style of hunting. Where other species move in coordinated trails, leaving chemical highways for their sisters to follow, bullet ants largely forage alone. A single worker climbs high into the tree canopy, searching for nectar, small arthropods, and insects. It may travel 15 meters or more from the nest entrance, navigating a complex three-dimensional world by scent and memory. When it finds food, it returns directly to the colony, leaving a pheromone trail only when it has something worth sharing. This independence reflects an ancient lineage. Bullet ants belong to the subfamily Paraponerae, a group so old and so distinct from other ants that scientists consider it a living relic, a window into what the earliest true ants may have looked like more than 100 million years ago. In a forest full of evolutionary experiments, the bullet ant is one of the oldest surviving designs. But there is still the matter of the sting. The Schmidt Sting Pain Index was developed by entomologist Justin Schmidt, who spent decades deliberately subjecting himself to the stings of hundreds of insects in the name of science. He rated each one on a scale of 1 to 4. Most familiar insects sit well below the halfway point. The honeybee is a 2. The paper wasp is a 3. The bullet ant occupies a category so extreme that Schmidt placed it beyond the top of his original scale, at 4+. His description of the sensation was characteristically vivid, pure, intense, brilliant pain. Like walking over flaming charcoal with a 3-inch nail embedded in your heel. The chemical responsible is called ponerotoxin. It is a neurotoxin unlike almost anything else in nature. Rather than disrupting the nervous system in the way most venoms do, blocking signals, overwhelming receptors, ponerotoxin forces sodium channels in nerve cells to remain open. It essentially jams the neural wiring in the on position. The result is a cascading wave of uncontrolled nerve firing that the brain interprets as overwhelming pain. And it does not fade quickly. The agony peaks within minutes, then sustains. Waves of throbbing, burning torment that can last up to 24 hours. In Brazil, the bullet ant is known as Formiga 24. The 24-hour ant. The indigenous Satirmã people of the Brazilian Amazon have known about the bullet ant for centuries. And they made a deliberate choice, to place it at the center of their most important ritual. When a young man comes of age in this community, he must prove his readiness to become a warrior. The proof is the ant. Hundreds of bullet ants are sedated using an herbal preparation and then woven into gloves made of leaves, their stingers facing inward. When the ants wake, the initiate must wear the gloves for 10 minutes without showing distress. His hands will convulse. The muscles will spasm uncontrollably. Some experience temporary paralysis. Many weep, though they are trained not to cry out. And when the 10 minutes are finished, the ordeal is not. The effects of the venom continue through the night. To complete the ritual, a young man must undergo this process not once, but 20 times over the course of years. The Satyr-Ma do not see this as cruelty. They see it as proof that a man can endure what the forest will demand of him. In a world where this ant patrols every tree and root, the ability to face pain without panic is not a metaphor for strength. It is actual survival intelligence. For the ant itself, the venom is almost never wasted on something as large as a human. Bullet ants are not aggressive by nature. A forager disturbed on a branch will first produce a stridulation sound, a soft, audible squeak generated by rubbing body segments together, as a warning. Leave it alone and it will leave. The sting is a last resort, reserved for genuine threats to the colony or moments of direct contact. The colony's defense becomes something different when the nest itself is threatened. Worker ants emerge rapidly, releasing alarm pheromones that recruit more defenders within seconds. What follows is a swarm of large, chemically furious insects that will pursue a threat for surprising distances. In the forest, most animals learn this lesson once and only once. Despite everything, the bullet ant plays a quiet and essential role in the ecosystem around it. It preys on insects that would otherwise overwhelm the forest's delicate balances. It aerates soil. The foragers that carry nectar back to the nest inadvertently contribute to pollination. It is, underneath all its terrible reputation, another working piece of a system far older and more complicated than any single creature within it. And here is the fact that reshapes everything you now know about this animal. Despite possessing one of the most painful stings ever recorded in nature, despite the neurotoxin, despite the warrior rituals, despite the 24 hours of searing nerve fire it delivers, the bullet ant sting has never killed a human being. Not one recorded fatality in all of documented history. The pain is extraordinary. The danger is almost none. Paraponera clavata did not evolve to kill. It evolved simply to be remembered. And it succeeds, every single time. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, hit like and subscribe for more incredible facts.